Hey everyone, it's Jamie of IndependenceStNola and Seasons and Ritual, and I'm here with my good friend Helen, the Crimson Cadaverous, and we are back at the coffee shop. And I want to thank CR Coffee Shop for allowing me to have a pop-up this past Saturday. It was so great. I'm going to have another one on the 10th.
Nice.
Yeah. If you're in town, are you going to be in town?
I think I'm actually out of town.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, never mind.
But I'll be here in spirit.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have a big week coming up because we do have this full moon.
Yes.
And so the highlights of the week are Mercury enters Capricorn, which will be happening on Monday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay. Yep. And then on Wednesday is the full moon. And then on the 9th, Venus enters Capricorn.
Yes.
All right, so let's get started.
Getting, preview of Capricorn season.
I guess so.
It's like we just got in Sagittarius season, but Capricorn season's like, remember me?
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Which was really funny because when I had these burns, they were like, you went ahead and brought Capricorn? I was like, I felt like I had to.
Yeah.
Okay, so Monday is the 5th,
Yes.
December 5th, and the moon will be in Taurus.
Yes.
And we were talking a little bit about this before we got on camera, but so the moon will be in Taurus. It's conjunct the North Node in Uranus and Taurus.
Yes.
And so it will also be squaring Saturn in Aquarius.
Yes. So we've got that square that we've kind of been working with this energy for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as intense as it was before because we're out of Scorpio season. We don't have the T-square
right.
that we were dealing with. But we do still have that square between the Taurus energy and the Aquarius energy.
Right.
But having gone through eclipse season, it's like we're seeing this all with fresh eyes, where it's not this thing that we kind of like clinch up over and go,
right.
what do I have to, what challenge are you going to throw at me? It's more like, all right, what are we going to do so
right.
we can move on? You know, with something new. You know, what's the next level? Almost like a video game, like leveling up.
Right.
So we're seeing things with fresh eyes now with this square.
Right, because we were talking about like Taurus fixed. The North Node is what we strive for. Uranus is in Taurus. The moon is in Taurus.
Yes.
And so because it's squaring Saturn and Aquarius, like you just said, we are seeing the challenges with fresh eyes in the sense that they're still here and it's not freaking us out.
Nope, it's not freaking us out because we realize the challenges are how we level up.
Right. And so, of course, Uranus is a ruler of Aquarius and it's the future.
And we're looking at the future for sure.
Right. And so with that square in Saturn, it's saying, how can we be stable? How can we bring in, it's the same question, right? But now we have more information.
Yes, we definitely have a lot more information after eclipse season. And I think we're feeling that now.
Right. And also I think we're okay with letting shit go. The things that were being eclipsed out, we're now seeing, though, that I don't need to keep carrying on with this because it is opposite the South Node on the same day. And that South Node is what we're releasing, and we're releasing low Scorpio vibes.
Yes.
So like secrecy, manipulation.
Yeah, all those things that like they're the old paradigm.
Right,
stuff.
right.
That's
Like we either took for granted or we made excuses for it.
Yes, exactly.
And now with this moon in Taurus, conjunct North Node and Uranus in Taurus, squaring Saturn Aquarius, I think this is us saying like we don't have to make these excuses anymore.
Yeah, that's very true.
We feel good about it. Thank you, Saturn Aquarius. That square there, I feel between those is like maturity.
Yeah, I definitely think, especially with Saturn. Saturn's always maturing us.
Saturn is Capricorn's ruler.
Yes.
So once again, knocking on the door. Not to take anything from our Saggies. Okay.
Still gonna have fun in Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
I'm having fun so far.
Yes.
Okay, Tuesday, the moon is in Taurus.
Quickly entering Gemini, though.
Right. And then and so you have it sextiling Neptune and Pisces.
Yes.
Is that while it's still in Taurus?
Yep.
Okay.
While we're still in Taurus, we're going to have a sextile with Neptune and Pisces, a trine with Pluto and Capricorn, and then move into Gemini, getting ready for full moon the next day.
Yay. Okay. And that moon in Taurus is a fixed sign. So it's sextiling with Neptune and Pisces. So you have this fixed earth sign being like, how can I flow?
Yes. How can I welcome in the intangibilities of life?
Right. And so how does that work?
I think we're going to find out.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Mercury entering Capricorn is going to help us because it's going to give us a more concrete, stable mind.
Okay. That makes, and that happens later in the day.
Yes.
Okay.
And so Mercury entering Capricorn, not that Mercury in Sagittarius is necessarily a bad thing, but he can get a little distracted.
Sure,
he
sure.
can, be like, ooh, what's the fun adventures going on?
Yeah.
And going off doing things. And Mercury and Capricorn kind of brings that all home,
Yeah.
rounds it down.
Yeah, and I think the way you said that made me think of this the first time ever. Like Mercury in Sagittarius, like you said, is adventuring.
Yes.
So it's gathering a lot of information. But when
Yes.
it's in Capricorn, it's more focused.
Yeah, it's
okay.
actually working with that information, doing something with it, as opposed to the Sagittarius. It's like, ooh, let me go off to
I like
this
this,
next thing.
and I like this, and I like that. I'm gonna make a note of that.
Yep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're focusing back, focusing our minds actually.
Yeah. Okay. So
Which is great because the full moon's the next day.
How do you feel about? I feel like this new moon. I mean, this full moon. I hope they can hear me. Okay. I hope this. I know. I feel like this full moon, for me, it's got like an extra layer of. Not seriousness, but like mystery. And I usually don't say that when I talk about the moon because I know it's super cliche.
You know why I think that is? It's because it's in Gemini, and there's always two sides to things with Gemini.
Ah.
And with this full moon, I think it's really interesting because it's almost an exact conjunction with Mars.
Oh, and Mars is on vacation in fucking Gemini.
Yes. So it's almost like we're seeing the other side of our power center, maybe?
Yep, the other side of Mars.
Yeah.
Mars is able to open up because he's been on vacation. Maybe he's been at a retreat.
Right. And we might understand some things better about how we've been giving our power away, using it, misusing it, however you want to say.
How people have been dominating us too.
Yes, yes.
In maybe subtle ways that we didn't notice.
Yeah, how are we giving our power to someone else? Yes. I think a lot of those things are going to come to fruition in our mind of understanding.
Yeah, and I think too, because with that happening and Mars being still on vacation,
Yes.
Maybe we'll have a sacred anger about it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if you get pissed off and you go do your thing, people. Like, you got to move through shit, okay?
I think at the core of this, we're going to feel the need to defend ourselves. If there is some way that we realize we're giving our power away. And not necessarily in a, like a physical conflict kind of way.
Kung Fu.
But more, we're going to feel defensive of ourselves because we're going to realize how important we are.
Yeah.
So we're going to feel as though, we need to actually defend that power center, which is us.
Right. That's really good. And like you said, like, it is us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like letting yourself know, hey, oops, you can stay. You can be true to yourself.
Yes.
You don't have to keep being in these dynamics. It's like this ending of these dynamics because we were talking about the way everything moves in the sky. The moon is going to block out Mars from Earth
Yes.
that day.
So they really will almost, the idea of on top of each other, like we say conjunction, they're on top of each other, they're not. In this sense, they kind of are.
Yeah.
So, like, from our viewpoint, and Mars is going to be hiding. So it's almost like we're going deep within to contemplate our power center.
Yep, and we're seeing, like we said, like the other side of Mars. And it's almost like the moon is blocking it to give Mars the respect it needs.
Yes.
In order to once again,
Think.
get back in touch with that feminine side.
Yes.
This divine feminine side.
And see, that's that other side of things, which I think, again, with Gemini, it's like we're seeing the other side of things.
Yeah, so that's all happening on Wednesday.
Yes, and that's a pretty straightforward thing where it's like, not a lot of other planets are interacting heavily. It's just basically Mars interacting with the sun and the moon.
Yeah, I think it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
What is it reflecting?
I think it's like Mars really, really is in charge of this moon. Yeah, and we're going to learn how to be in charge of ourselves again.
And it's good to know, like Gemini, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Gemini is mutable.
Yes.
Gemini can change, but Gemini is always taking in new information.
Yes.
To move us. Okay.
To use our power more proficiently.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, Thursday, the moon will still be in Gemini.
Yes.
It's going to be trining Saturn in Aquarius.
Yes.
Yay, air signs. And then squaring Neptune in Pisces, as well as squaring Venus, who is in Sagittarius right now.
Yes.
Okay, so I think the moon in Gemini, after going through that full moon party, he's like, gets to go to Saturn in Aquarius, and, Saturn is that stability.
Yep.
And he's like, so what'd you guys learn? And so Gemini is going to be like, let me tell you what happened. Okay, and Aquarius is going to be like, oh, good, like, how can we make this stable for the future?
Yes. And I think that's going to be very, like, harmonious feeling because it is the trine.
Yeah.
So it's like the air signs kind of working together.
Yeah. And like moving it through.
Yes.
And you guys got to remember, Saturn is Aquarius' ancient ruler.
Yes.
So it still has a lot of weight, I guess I could say, in that as well.
Influence.
Influence, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to move on to Friday?
Yeah, I think we're ready to move on to what's going on Friday.
Okay, so the moon will be moving out of Gemini. Okay, and then what will the moon be entering? Do we have that? Moves into Cancer.
Cancer, yes.
It's a good thing I could read.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I need some glasses.
And then that's when we have an opposition with Mercury in Capricorn. Mm-hmm. So again, I think it's just finding a balance between, nurturing ourselves because the moon in Cancer is at home, the mother,
Watery.
Yeah, taking care of ourselves and, thinking about what work we need to do.
Yeah.
Work put into our lives.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely, finding a balance between the two things. It's like we need to nurture ourselves.
Yes.
But we also need to get some shit done.
Yeah. And it's also this idea of the harmony, finding that balance. Earth needs water.
Yes.
Water needs earth.
Yes.
Okay. And it's time, I think we start seeing them, even when they're in opposition or squares, but like these elements they all work together.
Yeah.
Like we have to have them to survive.
Yes.
Okay.
And same day Venus enters Capricorn, so meeting up there with Mercury, which just did that 3 days before. But before Venus enters Capricorn, Venus still in Sagittarius squares off with Jupiter in Pisces, kind of giving us a little bit, like a little boost of positivity before we get Venus, which is already a money-based sign or a money-based planet. Entering Capricorn, which is all about work.
Yep.
So we might get a little stuffy with that energy.
Yes.
So, we're getting a little dose of positivity with that Jupiter square right before that.
I think so too. And like fun, Venus and Saggy is super fun.
Super fun.
And then Jupiter and Pisces, then she's squaring, she's squaring that Jupiter and Pisces.
Yes.
And Jupiter, it's going to say, well, how big can you go, baby?
Right. Yeah.
And then Pisces isn't going to help. Pisces is going to be.
We're just going to keep swimming in those intangible waters.
Yeah, be like as big as we want.
So at least Venus and Capricorn kind of like
reels it back in.
Yeah, reels it back in, but we got to have a little fun before that happens.
Yeah, so you guys really write down all the things.
Yes.
Don't what do you call it?
Don't
mute
limit yourself.
Limit yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the perfect word. Don't limit yourself. Because when Venus does enter Capricorn will ground her.
Yep.
But you know what?
Good.
And you said Mercury's already in Capricorn.
Yep.
So there's gonna be a lot of talking.
Yes.
Venus and Mercury are gonna be like, oh, Capricorn. Let's have a talk.
Let's get down to business.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Saturday, the moon will still be in Cancer.
Yep.
Be sextiling the North Node and Uranus and Pisces.
Yep, and we continue on that path that we were on right before the full moon of, accepting the new path, basically.
Yeah.
Accepting where we're going versus where we were at.
And how does that feel? That's that moon in Cancer.
Yeah.
So you guys can get in touch with your feelings because everyone loves that to do that.
Yes. And then, of course, the trine with Neptune and Pisces is just making it all a little more dreamier.
Yeah.
Making it a little easier.
I think so. And just a little more calm.
Yes.
Like a little more optimistic.
Yeah, swimming in blue waters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Jupiter
great.
is, it's luck and everything, but
Yes.
I wouldn't say it really is a calm planet, but maybe it's just that optimism.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So then on Sunday, the moon will start in Cancer and then move into Leo.
Yes, but before that, we've got the trine with Jupiter and Pisces.
Yes.
And opposition with Pluto and Capricorn.
So Pluto in Capricorn.
Yes. So we're definitely we're doing some intense work. Mm-hmm. We really are with Pluto and Capricorn.
That's some transformation.
Right, and we've been doing it since when was it? 2008?
Yeah.
Yep, we're getting close though. Next year we're gonna dip into Aquarius a little bit. So,
I know, right?
Yeah, and I think in a way, when we have this moon in Cancer opposition here, how do we feel about that?
Yeah.
How do we feel about all this work we've had to do?
Yeah, and how do we feel about what we've transmuted so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what
And
we
I
let
think
go.
we're feeling good about it because we've got a trine with Jupiter and Pisces.
Yeah, and it's like, look, I mean, you guys have really got to
we put in the work.
Yeah, and see how much you've grown and see how much you've changed and really see how much that has changed your outlook on life and where you are now, feeling comfortable to dream.
Yep.
Or maybe you were like, this is never going to happen, and then now it is.
Yeah.
So
Very true.
So I think it's like a really good week ahead.
Yeah, I feel really positive about this week. This full moon feels good. It might ask us to do some work, but that's what we're doing.
Magical.
We're working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever saw Mars as magical or mystical.
Maybe that's what we're going to see, the
Yeah.
magical side of Mars.
That was interesting. And
Yeah.
it's like a fun magic.
Yeah.
Not a shitty scorpion.
No, I think it's more the Aries
magician.
side of Mars.
Yeah.
Definitely. That just
The
like
highlighted-
take charge,
the
but,
highlighted
like,
Aries.
almost the Ace of Wands, holding up the
Yeah.
Ace of Wands,
Ooh,
that kind
yeah.
of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Divine.
It's like I'm gonna make stuff happen just because I have that fire inside of me to do it.
Yeah, and it's fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna almost like remember that.
Yeah.
That we do have that fire still burning inside of us.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, of course, thank you for your insights for the week. And if you guys have any questions, you can reach us on our Instagrams
Yes.
or our YouTubes.
Yep.
And then, as always, we hope you have a good week, and we'll see you next time. Have a good. You're going out of town?
Yeah. So we're probably gonna do a live or recorded
Yeah.
live thing, some kind of distance.
Recording.
Social distance thing, I don't
Yeah.
know, or distance and travel thing.
I like
Yes.
it. Maybe I'll get another fancy background.
Hey, maybe
Okay.
this time we'll be at the beach.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll
Yeah,
see.
let's go to the beach this time. The kitchen,
Okay.
who wants to go to the kitchen?
Well, it was for Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
true.
out. We're done. Okay, guys. Until next time, have a good week.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.